Hey there, everybody. Just a brief announcement before we get down to today's video on the new moon, and I'll record an extra video to go further into depth, which I will link just above. But my family and I are dealing with having to extend our temporary accommodation once again with the deadline of this Friday, and I'm wanting to make sure to allow enough time to be able to get some cash in. If you want to donate to our cause, I do ask that you please do so through the PayPal link, which you'll see in the description area below, rather than through my GoFundMe page, which some of you may be aware of. It's just that through my PayPal link, you're ensuring the funds get to us in a timely manner so that we're able to extend things on time. And thank you very much. So we seem to litter our life. There we go. We litter our life with these great old sayings, which sometimes, if you really sit down and think about them, you kind of wonder what they're all about. Like, never look a gift horse in the mouth. Well, I kind of know what that one's about, but we're not going to go into that because, that's a matter for another topic, perhaps. But another great one is you made your bed and now you have to lie in it. Well, I may have made my bed, and sure, maybe I didn't do that good of a job of making my bed, but I'm not responsible for the springs on my bed, which kind of poke into the side of my hip from time to time. Those aren't really my responsibility. So, whilst one can kind of say, you made your bed and now you have to lie in it, well, we're not really always responsible for all of the uncomfortable things that exist in our lives. And, sometimes we end up in one of those situations where we deal with uncomfortable situations or scenarios that are created by another person. And sure, we can, kind of sit and spend our time playing the blame game and, getting into endless discussions, heated debates, even occasionally arguments over who's to bless and who's to blame over whatever specific fact we might be dealing with. But then you kind of end with those moments where you've got to kind of just get on with life. And you may be dealing with just such a scenario, and there is a commitment that you may have made in relation to that. And if you could use a little bit of help sorting out in which direction your loyalties lie, my astrological services are always a great way to start. I'm presently offering a 1 hour consultation while slots last for $108. You can find a link to my services page just above. Sometimes we like to think, or at least we want to feel with a commitment that we can be behind it 100%, 200%, 300%. Okay, we can say 1,000. Sold to the man in the back, right? So we could do that. But truth be known, there's quite a lot of situations in our life where we're not completely behind the thing that we're committing to. And if you're dealing with the situation where an ounce of acceptance is leading to hours of intolerance, right? Then you have to kind of question whether you're actually able to accept the situation that you're dealing with. Acceptance, by its very nature, means that you're dealing with something that's kind of hard for you to really accept. One part of you doesn't want to. It's reluctant. So, with that being the case, it kind of places you in a situation where it's no surprise that the sacrifices that you may be being called upon to make at this particular moment in time are sacrifices that you have to question your willingness to make. Maybe the sacrifice that you're being called upon to make isn't, taking your needs into consideration. Maybe you have something that you really, really need, maybe respect, or maybe understanding, or the need to be heard, right? Any type of need that's not being met is going to make it hard for you to accept. It could even be something as simple as, well, I didn't get involved in creating this problem, and so I don't need all the extra stress of having to deal with that problem. Whatever the case may be, you're kind of dealing with something where You have to be a little bit accepting. You don't have to be, though, or you're being called upon to make a sacrifice, albeit you're not really willing to, and you're kind of questioning whether you're doing this or not. Your devotion to something or your devotion to someone is what's kind of got you going, okay, sure, I'll commit, I'll do it, I'll accept, I'll make the sacrifice. I feel like I'm being really stupid in doing that, though. And so when you're finding yourself in that particular type of scenario, you have to question what's the right thing to do. So this particular new moon cycle is happening in close proximity to Mercury and Anuradha. The new moon is in Swati, for those of you who don't know, and it's being aspected by Mars over in Pusha Nakshatra. So there's a little bit of impatience. There's a sense of being tired of dealing with a certain struggle that you feel like you are kind of being pulled into, but it maybe feels like it's not really your circus and not really your monkeys, and you can't really sit back and enjoy the show of watching the monkeys swing around because they're kind of hanging on your back all the time and creating a lot of problems for you. So, how much do you want to deal with this? And I'm by no means saying that you shouldn't deal with it, because life presents us with these moments where we have to decide where our heart is, where we have to decide, is my devotion really here to the extent that I'm all in on this? Or is my devotion more given to myself and what I'm needing? Am I going to be able to be stronger for those other people if I'm not strong for myself? And ideally, a balance has to be found. But with this particular new moon, a commitment has to be made. You need to either find yourself in a position where you're all in, or instead you're going, I can't do this. And you need to know which direction your commitment lies in. And if you could use a little bit of help with that, I'm always happy to help you with that scenario through one of my astrological services. You can find a link to my consultations page, which is discounted to a price of $108 for a 1 hour consultation for a limited time only. You can find that link just above. Thanks a lot for watching this video on the new moon in Swati Nakshatra, taking place on the 1st of November 2024. Until next time, please do take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.